Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lanks here with another replay for you. I've got a good long one for you today. We've got Meet Your Maker's Dragon and Roots ViBe facing off on Whirlwind, which is a really big map. This map really encourages macro play. You've got, your natural, you've got a third pretty close by, and most players can expand up their respective sides, making this a really good map for long, drawn-out games with lots of drops and interesting plays and pincer moves and other sorts of interesting strategies. So Dragon, I've featured on the channel before. He's known for doing a lot of drops and doing a lot of harassment. He's really fun to play against and to watch. ViBe and Dragon just exchanging pleasantries over the chat. Been playing mostly in the Korean realm since 2011. Not sure which realm this replay is from. This is a ladder match. Both the players are listed as being masters. Not everybody can be a GM, unfortunately. ViBe saying that he gets lag in Korea. Makes sense. I mean, both these players are American, so if they're playing on the Korean ladder, they're going to be experiencing that delay that you get when you're playing across the ocean, which does kind of suck. I mean, you go from a 50 millisecond delay to a 250 millisecond delay, and it really can throw you off. Looks like ViBe going for an early expo, or I guess just a scout. It's a little early for an expo at this point. Actually, he's at 15. He could be expoing right now. I'm kind of surprised he's not. He'll probably get to that. Yeah, this drone's going to go and do that. So over here, we've got Dragon setting up a container at his front door. Just wants to keep that drone out, but it's going to get there first. This is likely why ViBe was sending the drone over right away, since he wants to get a peek at what Dragon's up to. Wants to make sure he's not doing something cheesy, something unexpected. But right now, no, is just happily mining SCVs over top of this angry panda who watches all. I love that panda decal, though. It goes in everything. Drone here picking a fight with the little SCVs, trying to finish building his... Oh no, there's another SCV here. Interesting, there's two of them. Bit ballsy going through the middle line. You can pretty easily surround and kill a worker. They can try to middle walk out, but if you've got quick reactions, you might be able to just finish them off. Dragon locking the door on this drone. He's not going to be able to get back out. He's stuck in Dragon's base. So he'll get some good scouting, but in the meantime, he's not going to see what Dragon is up to. Dragon going to go do an expand, and his SCV is going to derp out and knock out the door. He's supposed to. Marine out now, just chasing down the drone. Drone can outrun him, so this can take a little while. It's pretty smart. Dragon going to expand here. Now, if the drone goes right to the edge, he'll be able to see it. But I don't think he's going to get that chance because the Marine is chasing around. Now, you can see ViBe has really crazy micro and APM. This is the ViBe cam, which sounds kind of dirty. But his APM is known to be pretty damn high, and it really is all over the place. You'll see as this game goes on, he really is everywhere at once, all the time. Let's see if you get to peek at that. Expansion. Nope. Denied. Looks like SCV picking a fight with this gigantic creep structure battery thing. It's going to be pretty intimidating. I mean, the unit size here really isn't to scale. But if you were a guy with a power drill and you were told to go kill a gigantic structure made of flesh, that's not really a good assignment. And he's going to do it to his grave, though. Gotta give him credit. Give him kudos. So ViBe doing a pretty standard expansion here. Maxed out, but there we go. Getting both his queens out, doing the injects. So the macro has begun officially. See how he moves his queen right there's a creep there to help intercept any oncoming SCVs or attacking units. Doesn't look like Dragon's going to be doing any offensive behavior at the start, though. He's getting another CC, going for a third. He's actually getting his third base up before ViBe has his. Now, he may not actually go and expand. He may just be using this for orbital command, get some more mules down. I know I like to do that. But sitting at the front is pretty ballsy. He's showing his hand. He's saying, look, I'm not building anything. Come get me. But ViBe's too busy making his own drones to really notice. So he's hit full saturation on these minerals, +1. Full saturation being 16, really. Going from 16 to 24, you get a very quickly diminishing return on your additional drones. So really going past 16, there's much point. For Zerg, of course, you'll be using those drones, building more structures. Yeah. So always good to have a few extra. But it looks like Dragon is just going to be, yeah, he's turtling up here, getting himself a bunker. Now, I've done this myself in ladder games, and I've had the rude awakening of the Zerg deciding to get Bailey Nest and a whole bunch of lings and just blows open the front door and kills you. That kind of sucks, but you can, know that's not going to happen if you have adequate scouting. But interestingly enough, Dragon has no scouting. We can see his SCV path initially, but that's all he knows. All he knows is that his opponent expanded, and nothing else. So, a little dangerous. Now he is getting a factory here, so that tells you that he's going to be going Hellion most likely, or maybe Widow Mines. We'll see. Getting a starport as 1, so it's going to be a 1-1-1 build. He does have his double gas, no third or fourth. On the other hand, ViBe's got 2 gases on his natural, 1 at his main, so he may be going for some gas-intensive build. If it's going to go mutas, I'd expect a 4th, because really mutas are only restricted by gas, because you can just churn them out so quickly. And you do need a lot of them. This SCV is really been sitting idle for a while. Probably not intentional. Or maybe it was. Maybe he was blocking the path there. So you're going to go just take another quick peek around. Probably going to go for the 3rd. Now, you can see this creep spread already beginning. This is crazy. There are 3 queens out here spreading creep constantly. And this is like going down to your basement because you smell mold. And then you look around and, oh god, it's everywhere. There's black shit coming out of the walls, or on the floor in this case. Queen's gonna take out this SCV probably, yep, before he gets to the expansion. So, looks like Dragon still doesn't know there's a 3rd, although he probably suspects if there's this much creep spread that something is up. Plus, he hasn't been hit by a roach army yet, although there is one coming. So we got roaches coming out. We got +1 coming out. We've got speed coming out as well. So this is definitely an offensive force, not just a defensive force. More creep spread coming out. I mean, look at all these creep tumors. It's everywhere. It's kind of gross, really. There's creepy crawly stuff all over the ground here. Roaches heading up top. Gonna pass these Hellions. Looks like they didn't see each other. So that's a bit of a problem for ViBe. He doesn't have anything to defend against these Hellions. They can come in and do a real number on the drones. And they really shouldn't be stopping here, because it's just giving ViBe time to prepare. These roaches are going to be able to deal with it pretty handily. Now, he's pulling back all of his roaches, actually. That's buying himself some time. Might be a bit of a mistake. Dragon with a Viking, just going to pick off some overlords. Always nice to do. Deny your opponent's scouting and supply lock him when you have the chance. Looks like a hydrogen coming out. Stim's not nearly done yet, but this attack at the front is underway. There goes the bunker. I don't know, Dragon throwing the SCVs at them. He's trying to buy some time, but they're just getting slaughtered. Let's take a look at the unit lost here, and it's just racking up in the favor of ViBe. Look at that disparity. Now, there is a Banshee here, so of course the roaches can't shoot up, so it'll eventually kill all the roaches, but that's going to take quite a while. The Hellions will come back to you, and Hellions can actually be decent against roaches if you get good shots off on them. If you line them up nicely, it'll work. But there's nothing else here. This is a problem. We've got a couple mines coming out. That could help quite a bit. More mines here as well. Oh, this could do the... Oh, these roaches are really grouped up. Mines bearing down. And... there we go. That was pretty epic. Mines are incredibly good. Each of these mines, a couple of kills apiece. One roach here just running around. I guess it's easy to double engineering base, so that gives an idea that there's going to be a lot of bio in the field. And Nova's here just going to chill out here. Still, those Widow Mines really just were clutch. That saved the day. And if I'm continuing its creep expand here, look at all these creep tumors in the ground, although he's kind of halted. Oh, there he goes again. I mean, look at how much creep he's got. He's got his 3rd all the way connected. His 4th potentially could be taken. He's probably going to be able to wrap back to this one pretty quickly as well. Now, in terms of production, let's go back to this and see. Lots of Hydras coming out. We've got +2 coming out as well. No armor yet. 1-1 for Dragon, as well as Shield, tanks, medevacs. So it's looking like it's going to be some sort of bio-mech army. I'm not really sure where the Banshees fit into this. They might have just been a one-off that he was going to try to do with Cloak, but decided not to. And the Terrans are called in the Exterminator, taking out these creep tumors. But Hydras are pretty good against Mines. Mines, of course, have a range of 5, and Hydras have a range of 6, I believe? Yeah, when they're upgraded. So they can outrange the Mines, only just. Ooh, well, if they're smart, they can outrange the Mines. There we go. So as good as Mines are against Zerg, if they've brought the Hydras, or if they're microing the units against them, they're not going to do so hot. Single tank here, that's really going to be more than enough to drive off these Hydras. Maybe if there were some Lings to go in and eat up the Mines and soak up some of the tank hits at first. We'll see if ViBe decides to take a shot at this. He could just take a look with his Overseer or just drop a Changeling maybe. Setting in units is costly. This is an expensive way to scout. Ooh. Setting in the roaches first at least. They'll take a couple of the shots. But the wall goes up. Hydras are going to get a couple of shots there. Oh, the Overseer is gone, so that means the mines are hidden again. Dragon taking the offensive here, moving out and stimming. And then back to the tanks. And look like that attack's been thwarted. So we've got ViBe is third up now. So he's got his main, he's got a macro hatch coming up. He's got an infestation pit. Actually, he's not going lair yet, is he? Or he's got, sorry, not hive. He's got his lair, of course. He's got his infestation pit. So he's getting his fourth up, getting both gases. So he's going to be stockpiling quite a bit of gas. He already has quite a bit of gas. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. He probably should be going for his hive. I mean, all this tech's got to be for something. Yep, there it goes. On the other hand, Dragon going to take his third. He's going to find that there's already a blanket of creep there, though he's going to be able to land just in time. But, ooh, tank's moving in too. They're going to clean up this creep here. Zerg Army's going to pull back a bit. Now, if he knocks down these rocks... Oh, wait, these are the knockdown rocks. These are the in-the-way rocks, which just open up the ramp if you destroy them. So he doesn't want to knock those rocks down. He wants to keep the choke point, if at all possible. We've got Overlord's pooping creep over here, just to prevent Dragon from expanding again. Got a missile charge going now, which is a bit odd. So... looks like a pure Roach Hydra build with some Swarm House I'm getting mixed into the mix. We don't have any Infestors, which are kind of handy against Biomech, if you can get the Bile. They're not so good against the mech part of it. But Swarm Hosts are definitely very good against tanks. They're kind of like their equal. Tanks, seeing Swarm Hosts versus tanks is a lot like watching a TVT, where it's all about positioning, and whoever makes a wrong move at the wrong time loses everything at once. Here we go, launching a few of these out. We've got 4 Swarm Hosts in the field now. Take a look at the unit totals. So, oh, 8 Swarm Hosts. Looks like more have been built. They're just rallied over somewhere? Oh, there they are. So Locusts make great scouts too, because you can always just pop out a few Locusts and see if your opponent is around that next bend. Got a sensor tower up here that'll keep Dragon appraised of the situation, just in case there's any units coming in. Let's see, Swarm Hosts could really... there we go. So, with the tanks not sieged up, they're not going to be able to take out these... what are these called? Locusts, before they get into the fight. And the Locusts going the wrong way, unfortunately. There we go. The Locusts, I mean, even if they don't kill many, it's free damage. You can see they got a couple bio units down there, and they force the tank to siege up in place. But we need more than a couple Locust kills to make this work. Another Overlord down, but ViBe's got plenty of supply to go. Not sure. Oh, looks like he got dropped, but this drop isn't going to work too well. Ooh, lots of tentacles. It's like something out of a bad movie. So no drop working here. This is going to be interesting, because usually Dragon does a lot of drops. I mean, I'll speak of the devil. There we go. He's got a drop right on top of a couple of Spore Crawlers. He's going to lose that medevac in short order. But the drop itself is on the ground, but it's going to get cleaned up, all these Hydras. Hydras are really good against a bio army, a pure bio army. They're not good for cost, but for supply, they're excellent. So in the late game, when money isn't such of an issue, I mean, look at ViBe's money right now. He's got a ton of cash banked at the moment. He can basically make whatever he wants. So it'll be interesting to see if he tech switches into something else, because I mean, he could get a Greater Spire up, he could get an Ultra-Gen, he can really do whatever he wants. He's got the cash for it. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. Well, 4 mining bases. It'll be 3 soon enough. Now there's conflict in the middle. We got mines. Mines, of course, aren't so good against Locusts, since Locusts just eat the attacks and don't care because they're free. Now we got Vipers in the field, and this is interesting because Vipers are really good against tanks. Now Vipers, if you do the blinding cloud in the tanks, they can't fire and they can't move out of the cloud, so they're effectively toast. So it's definitely a very good counter. So Locusts and Vipers together will make the tanks pretty much useless. And of course you can always abduct the tanks as well, pull them into your forces, and that's the end of them as well. Tanks sieging up here. The Dragon, sensing danger, sieges up all his tanks. ViBe just kind of dancing around the edge here. He doesn't want to commit, because he would lose all these Hydras in short order to those tanks. Tanks are excellent against Hydras. They don't do extra damage to them, but they just, mechanically, they just counter them perfectly. And you can see all these, the Hydras got whittled down quite a bit. ViBe's down, okay, well he was down to 170s pop, now he's not anymore because he's building 15 Hydras at once. This is one of the advantages of playing Zerg, of course, is that you can be very reactionary like that. Somebody blows up your army, doesn't matter, you make another instantly. You can see as his army population drops, ViBe is just very quickly making more of them. He doesn't really have any downtime. Locusts going in, Locusts really make good, they're basically replacement roaches, except free. You just need to be able to have very good micro to keep your swarm hosts together with your army. Where are they? Oh, they're down here. Oh, interesting. So they're going to go down to the bottom here and I suppose try to pincer the Terran army. These tanks are showing a bit of wear and tear, and they don't have any armor upgrades, so they actually go down very quickly to these 3 attack Hydras. So the attack has begun on the 5th. But, okay, we got Blinding Cloud down on some of the tanks. They're not going to be able to fire. I've ducked on the remaining tanks, and that takes them out of the picture, and that's totally cleaned up. I think all ViBe really lost there was a couple of Hydras and his Extractor, and the guys are pretty one-sided, really. So Dragon down 50 pop, and ViBe not down any, and he's just making 1 more Viper. So, doing pretty well indeed. These Stormhouse, of course, don't actually have any extra armor. If they do get caught out of position, that'll be painful. But it seems like ViBe's got his finger on the mouse at all times and doesn't let these guys get in any remote danger. They don't seem to have any kills. Looks like they've really just been tanks. Oh, they got a couple kills here. The kills from the Locusts do transfer back to their host, so you can keep track of how well these Stormhouse are doing. So it looks like another Marine tank army here moving out. They got 2-1, so they're actually they're catching up the upgrades, those Hydras. Ooh, they're caught at a position there by the Hydras, picking off a few of the Marines. Swarmos, I don't think any of them actually died. Got 1 down 24 HP, but that's not really enough. Doesn't count. So siege tanks moving up more. We've got +2 coming with the siege tanks and 3-2 for the Marines. So it looks like it's got a pure Marine tank medevac army. No funny business here. No Ravens, no... Ravens actually pretty good with the PPD and the Hunter Seeker here, but we don't have any extra technology involved. Just straight up hammer to the face style gameplay from Dragon today. ViBe, on the other hand, is... well, he's doing the same kind of thing, which is kind of odd for a Zerg player. He really needs more creep spread there. He's got to get back on that creep bandwagon. Looks like he's kind of forgotten about it, but he's had bigger things to worry about at the moment, like all these tanks at his front door. Well, not so much his front door as somewhere nearby. They're coming, slowly. I'm not sure this is going to be enough Locusts and Hydras to beat this. That's a lot of tank fire. And the Marines in the middle, providing a nice meat shield. ViBe pulls back out. Of course, he's down 20 pop. We'll see how long that lasts. Oh, he's making Ultra Cavern. So this might actually be intentional. He might try to find a decent engagement and just throw away his Hydras so we can replace them with Ultralists. See how this goes. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a great engagement, but it's good enough. He's down to 164. He's not building anything else. He's just stocking up larvae. Oh, there's a drop going on the top right. These spines probably aren't going to be enough to stop it. Some of them are going to get through. Fight in the bottom seems to have been resolved. Most of the Hydras are dead, but the Swarm Hosts are still, of course, perfectly fine. And he's got a lot of them. Let's take a look at the Uniforce here. We've got 18 Swarm Hosts versus almost an equal number of Marines. Some Marauders and some tanks. And a whole lot of medevacs. So, this is a little unbalanced at the moment, and I think it's just going to get worse. What do we have coming on the field? We've got Chitinous Plating coming, so he's definitely moving towards an Ultralist heavy build. 6 Ultralists are popping out now. We got 1 Zerg melee attack. The level 2 Carapace. This is going to be a nasty, nasty army. So these Locusts are just rallying in. Oh, we got Hydras going to the side. This is weird. You don't usually see Ninja Hydras, but there we go. They really should be going after the workers, but... well, either way. Locusts moving in again. They are actually going to kill this if they keep this up. Nope, nope, those Swarm Hosts are fine. They escaped, as usual. Hydras are dying, but ViBe doesn't really care. It's free population now. Look at all these Ultralists coming out. This is going to be incredibly mean. I'm not sure why they're all rallied over here, though. That could be a bit of a mistake. Looks at Locusts going in again. Now they've got armor upgrades as well. A little tough to kill. And they've got a lot of life at this point. They could really take out that Orbital Command. Orbital Command has to lift off, and these workers going to lose a whole lot of them as they leave, but most of them get away. Top right, we've got Dragon moving in again with his standard-ass Bioforce. I kind of wish he would mix it up a little bit here. I think a couple of Ravens for PPDs or some Hunter Seekers or something. I mean, Hydras are really bad about running away from Hunter Seeker missiles, especially if they are off creep. Ultralists, on the other hand, are pretty good about tanking them. Not really much you can do with this. He did Thors and a whole lot of Marauders, and he doesn't have either of those. Now, that is a lot of Caesar tanks. That will repel him. Well, actually, there isn't all that many Caesar tanks. He could probably take it, but it might be unacceptable losses for him. Although he does have about 11,000 in resources banked at this point, so I think this game is kind of decided already. Unless Dragon can completely cut off ViBe's income, and he's doing that pretty handily here, taking out this base fully and all the workers, and then retreating. Now, if he takes out the 4th as well, that'll leave ViBe on 1 mining base. Now, on the other hand, ViBe is taking this PF and a lot of the workers, and yeah. I guess ViBe's thinking, you may be attacking my expansions, I'm just going to go kill your main base. Or maybe he's going to run away. So that's also an option. Which is kind of interesting when you think about it. I guess Dragon can't immediately rebuild a base. ViBe did just take out his 3rd base here, and he doesn't have any other mining bases right now. He's got this one up at the top, but it's not actually doing anything right now. Some workers are moving over there right now, but if we look at the income, let's take a quick look at that. That's pretty telling. Nothing for Dragon, nothing. And oh, these ultras just totally caught the tanks out of position, and they're blinded, and they can't do anything. Oh, the humanity. Doing an emergency pickup and leaving. Not really many of them got away, though. Looks like they're going to peel around to the side and maybe try doing the drop, but he really probably needs to go back and defend his base, because I don't think he has enough here. In fact, Dragon's moving out again. Not smart to run towards the Ultralists, I'd say, but, well, I'm not the Masters level player here, but still. It could also be the fact that I can see exactly what ViBe's doing. So ViBe moving in here, and looks like this time he's going to cut off this Terran force and annihilate it. Locust from one end, Ultralisk on the other. There really isn't a happy ending into this. I mean, they're fighting pretty well, actually. They're doing more than their share of damage. But it's still not enough. It looks like the 3rd was taken out here, or sorry, 4th. It's difficult to keep track of Zerg bases. There's always so many of them. Which does cut the income down quite a bit for ViBe. In fact, does he have any? He's got a small mineral income now, which is just from the remnants of his 3rd. And then Dragon's actually got an income now from this 4th base, but he has no army. And look at his population. It's down to 109. He's got a handful of units. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the army strength, or active forces strength. There's basically nothing for Dragon. I mean, look at that difference. That's more than 3 times as much for ViBe at this point. ViBe is going to, once he eventually gets off his butt and goes and kills him, that's going to be GG. If he lets him mine from this base for long enough, I mean, he could potentially rebuild, but I don't think it's going to happen. There are just too many Zerg forces on the ground. He could just ignore it and just go kill him. Another drop heading down at the bottom. Dragon trying to keep ViBe from actually getting any more money. It's a good thing ViBe has so much money stocked up, otherwise he would be in trouble. But he's just got so much money that it's really not going to matter. Looks like ViBe is going for the kill up here with the Locust. A very safe way to kill someone. And it's toast. You can see how quickly that goes down with the level 3 attack on those. I mean, 15 damage is a lot. And looks like the Zerg force should be going back here. I mean, oh, these guys got a siege right now. Right now. Too late. The Ultras are, well, they're going to sit outside his base, actually, which is kind of silly. They need to get in there and just go and attack. I mean, ViBe's playing it really safe right now. I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, of course, he's got the Swarmhost, too. So the Swarmhost should be able to just burrow and pop out a whole bunch of Locusts and then storm the base. A whole lot of them died, unfortunately, which, well, it's still enough. I mean, there's a lot of them here. Oh, the Infestor's walking in. Not sure that's a good idea. They're just taking in the sights, but they're also in tank range, and oh, that one went flying. Whole bunch of the Infestors going down. Good fungal there. Lock them in place for the Locusts. No, but they do get to run away. Okay, here's, I think this is what he meant to do. Send in the Vipers here. Pull out the offending tanks, and in come the Ultras with a whole lot less tank fire to deal with. And more Locusts coming in as well. So that is one big angry Zerg blob. Chopping through these guys. Oh, and the blinding cloud in the tanks. They can't even fire back. There's really no way Dragon pulled this out at this point. He's got 54 pop versus ViBe's 159. I'm just waiting for the GG at this point. I'm kind of surprised he has it. He is, of course, dropping ViBe at the same time, but really, what's the point? I mean, ViBe is actually almost out of money at this point, but Dragon's just got such, or Dragon has such a small army compared to ViBe's. ViBe is still maxed out. He's just going to continue to try to drop. This is kind of what I'm used to seeing from Dragon. It's a bit odd that he wasn't doing it so much earlier. Relying on Tank Marine isn't really his thing, from what I've seen. More like mine drops and bio drops. And these guys are all going to eat it from... Ooh. Hydra's coming back to deal with this drop, and that should be the end of it. I mean, Blinding Cloud and Hydra on top of them. They are toast, and some abducts just for good measure, and Dragon calls the GG. So ViBe takes the victory. So an interesting game there with the combined arms from ViBe, getting the Vipers together with the Hydras and the Storm Host, and then shifting into the Ultralisk to counter the big tank mass. Whereas Dragon took a really inflexible route. He just went straight bio with tanks and really nothing else. There was some Marauders, some Marines, some tanks, and some medevacs. Didn't see... Oh, we did have those 2 Banshees at the very beginning, but they didn't really do anything, and I'm not a big fan of Banshees when it comes to Zerg, because there's always Queens, and a couple Spores will deal with them pretty handily as well, so... But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be bringing a few more games in the next few days. I mean, my exams are pretty much done at this point, thankfully, so I can actually get back into casting. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you'd like some more. I will see you next time.